triangle ABC is an enlargement of triangle ADE such that AD over DB is equal to AE over EC is equal to 1 over 2, sorry, right? If the area ABC is 36 centimeters squared, then the area DECB in centimeters squared is. Good. So they gave us that the ratio of AD to DB is 1 to 2, and the ratio of AE to EC is also 1 to 2. They also tell us that ABC is an enlargement of ADE, which means they are what we refer to as similar triangles, which means that the ratios of all the corresponding sides are equal. So, question, what ratio are we talking about there? The ratio of AD to DB is not to be confused with the ratio of AD to AB. Alright? AD is the side of the small triangle, AB is the side of the big triangle. Same story down here. The ratio of AE to EC is not to be confused with the ratio of AE, which is the side of the small triangle, to AC, which is the corresponding side of the larger triangle. So what we have here is that if AD to DB is 1 to 2, meaning that DB is twice the length of AD, it means then that the ratio of AD to AB would be 1 over 1 plus 2, which is 3. So in other words, the ratio of the corresponding sides based on this side here would be 1 to 3. Same story across here. If the ratio of AE to EC is 1 to 2, in other words, the length of EC is twice the length of AE, then the length of AC would be 3 times 1 plus 2 the length of AE. So in other words, the ratio of AE, which is the side of the small triangle, to AC, which is the corresponding side of the large triangle, would be 1 to 3. So the ratio of the sides, the ratio of the corresponding sides of the two triangles, small triangle to large triangle, would be 1 to 3, not to be confused with 1 to 2, which is exactly what you will get if you have the triangle divided up as we have it here. 1 here, and then you have 2 here, so the ratio of the corresponding sides would be 1 to 3. Same thing on this side. What that means, therefore, is that the ratio of DE to BC would be not 1 to 2, but 1 to 3. Alright, so BC would be 3 times the length of DE, just as AB is 3 times the length of AD, and just as AC is 3 times the length of AE. So in other words, being that these two triangles are similar triangles, the ratio of the corresponding lengths would be 1 to 3. How do we use that fact to deal with the whole question of area? Now we know that the area of the big triangle is 36 centimeters squared. Good? And we need to find the area of the strip in between, which would necessitate us having to find the area of the small triangle and then subtract it from the area of the big triangle. However, we don't have any other information that would give us the exact value of the area of the small triangle. So what do? We use this particular piece of information, and I wanted to be very careful in paying attention to what I'm going to say here now, because this information could very easily come into play in your section 1, in your question where you have an enlargement of a particular shape, and the small shape is a particular area was the area of the larger shape, and vice versa. Alright, so be very careful about listening to what I have to say here, and what I would advise you to do is to make a note of it, go and do your investigations on the side, ask somebody, ask a teacher, ask a friend, whatever, Google, YouTube, whatever, because this is an important piece of information that if presented with it in a paper 2 or paper 1, you don't want to miss out because you didn't know. Now, having seen this video here and having been explicitly encouraged by myself to go check it out, I would hope that that is what you do, so that if you ever have to deal with that in an exam situation, you would have known, you would have remembered seeing it in this video here, and in addition to that, you would have gone, taken the extra step, done a little work, checked it out, so that when you come in an exam situation, you don't have a problem of not knowing what it is. Good. So here we go again. If the ratio of the corresponding sides of two similar triangles, where one is bigger than the other one, if the ratio is 1 to 3, if the ratio of the sides is 1 to 3, then the ratio of the areas, would be 1 to 9. In other words, 1 to the square of 3. So whatever the ratio is in terms of the side lengths, the ratio of the area would just be the square of that. So if you have two triangles or two squares or two of any shape, where one shape is 2 times the size of the other shape in terms of the length, so the length of each corresponding side is of the bigger shape is twice the length of the corresponding side of the smaller shape, then the area correspondence would be 2 squared, which is 4. So in other words, if you have a small shape and then you have the same shape magnified to 2 times, measuring that magnification of course by the lengths of the sides, then the area, it wouldn't be twice the area but 4 times the area. So applying that here, we could say now that this big triangle in terms of the side lengths is 3 times the small triangle. So in other words, the magnification is by a factor of 3. Alright, which in a general sense in the transformations question they use the letter K. So in this case, K is equal to 3, where K is the scale of the magnification. So if the scale of the magnification is 3, meaning that each side of the big triangle is 3 times the corresponding side of the small triangle. Alright, same story here. Then what it means is that the area of the big triangle would be 9 times the area of the small triangle. 9 of course being 3 squared. So what it means then is that the area of this big triangle would be 9 times the area of this small triangle. So knowing that the area of the big triangle is 36 centimeters squared, all we have to do now is divide 36 by 9 to get the area of the small triangle, which when we do that, you will get that the area of the small triangle 36 by 9 is still 4 centimeters squared, which means therefore that the area of this strip would be 36 centimeters squared minus 4 centimeters squared, which would give us 32 centimeters squared. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that where this particular question is concerned. So that the answer in this case would be answer D.